missed the music, bro. I've missed it for the last couple of weeks. Hey, welcome, Bourbon and Badges, Season 7, Episode 1. We are back. There's the Hound Dog, SLO Ride, the Rodinator here, and
Man, what a break.
Doby Dawg a little under the weather, so he's
said he has the flu.
Yeah, he's got the flu.
Man. It's all about him.
Take some vitamin
bastard.
C. Come on, man. Vitamin C up and do it. Put your
That's
big
right.
butt
Man
pants on.
up.
Anyway. No, Doby Dawg, we hope you feel better, brother. But listen,
Yeah,
this
we
is
do.
Season 7, Episode 1. We are ready to go, rested, freshly rested from a 2-week or so vacation for Christmas and New Year's, guys. How was everybody's Christmas, and how was everybody's New Year?
My Christmas is good. So,
Yeah?
stayed here in Calabash, North Carolina, and I had to work Christmas Eve and New Year's Eve at the ABC
put some
store.
hours in.
Oh, so it's good for your
at you.
wife, too, then, huh?
Yeah, because I wasn't here.
You weren't in the fucking house. Yeah. How about you, Slo? How was your
Man, it was all
Christmas
good.
Eve?
My young come up and see me, spent some time with her, and the son-in-law. That was great. Man, sitting on 6 inches of snow.
Okay, that's what she
Oh, you
said.
got 6 inches?
Yeah. Sitting on 6 inches of snow, and it's calling for
She's sitting on his. Oh my God.
sleet and freezing. I didn't realize how I said that. Calling for sleet, freezing, rain tonight, and supposedly a big snowstorm hitting us this weekend. So
Okay, and
a lot of indoor stuff.
Is your situation squared away up there since the storm, or are you still suffering from something here and there? Do you have
Just
everything
road
back?
closures is the biggest thing for regular people. I guess people that's not affected is still without homes or power and stuff. Still a lot of people without homes.
Are you
without power.
personally dealing with
No.
Starlink still, or you got your regular shit back?
Starlinks, man? It's going to be at least 6 months to a year before we get any type of internet stuff up here.
So Elon's still coming through for you. That's cool.
Yeah, man, and they're well, no, he's charging me this month. So
Oh, he's charging us, bastard.
Oh man, that's
he's a billionaire, man. What is he thinking?
What's $8 to him? Whatever.
Evidently, he hadn't heard about this show.
That's true.
Or he
plug
probably
him a
cut
lot
us
here.
off.
We plug him a lot. Yeah, you're right. He might have Trump cut us off.
So what's it like in G-Town?
G-Town is just a little bit of cold. Gets down to, it's been down as low as 28. But no snow. But it's been some real cold rain, borderline sleet. A little bit here and there. But right today, it's like 45 degrees. I kind of like it. Jacket weather, man. You know,
Well, I'll
it's
tell
kind
you,
of nice.
last night wind chill factor was 2 degrees.
Oh, really?
Ooh,
Up here
Lord.
on the mountain.
Wow. Yeah. I don't miss. That's why this is the year, fellas. I'm just saying. Rodinator might be moving to Florida. I might be coming to you from Florida this year. I'm going to try and push that move. But anyway, on with the show, guys. First episode of the new year. And so some things we're going to talk about today, guys, right?
And you
We have
guys
a lot
look
of
so
things to
refreshed.
talk
Look at you. You look so refreshed and sober.
I feel great. I feel invigorated and energized, man. Ready to
I'm
go.
ready to get this show on the
Season
road.
7, baby. I love the number 7, too. It's just everything's good, man. Just
Hey,
feeling good.
can I plug something? I'm just thinking about it real quick.
Plug it. Plug it.
Now on the YouTube side, you can go to YouTube Music and listen to all our old stuff on the audio side. Of course, we're on every
really?
listening platform
nice.
out there. You don't have to go to YouTube. You can every listening platform out there.
We're
But
all
now
over the
on
place.
now we're on YouTube Music.
We're major famous.
Yeah.
At least in our own mind.
Yeah.
All right, go ahead there, Rodinator. What's on your mind?
Anyway, on today's show, guys, we're going to be talking a little bit about, of course, 2 weeks ago, there's been a lot going on in the news, reference to law enforcement and cop stuff. So we're going to talk about the terrorist attack, of course, in New Orleans, how that happened. We're also going to talk about the Tesla pulling up in front of Trump Tower and exploding, you know. We're going to talk about that guy, and there's a lot going on there.
Yeah.
And I want to touch on, I don't think we did this, guys, before we took our break, but Biden's pardons. Unbelievable, man. How, at one point, no one's above the law, but listen, I'm going to decide who stays in jail and who doesn't, and who's on death row and who doesn't, after a jury of their peers settled it. So I'm just would like to touch on that a little bit too, and I probably might rant a little bit. Just a heads up, it might be a little rant.
Yeah, Rodinator, you don't do a little bit of anything.
No, you don't.
I take large bites. You're right.
Hey, the funny note with what you're saying is, I'm out in the yard yesterday. A Tesla comes riding by me, like up on the dirt road. Like, please don't stop. Please don't stop.
Did you duck? Did you duck? Did you get down? Yeah.
Yeah, man. He had no problem coming up the snow. You couldn't hear it because it's electric. It's just.
Yeah.
No problem with
All-wheel
snow at
drive,
all.
I guess they're good. I think
Was it
they're
a
all
car or
all-wheel
truck?
drive.
It was the car. Is gray the only color they come in, or silver? Is that the only color they come in?
They look like a toaster coming up the road, right?
Yeah, it's not an attractive car.
I
Not at all.
saw a black one here in town, here at Ocean Isle a couple weeks ago.
Really?
But it was kind of weird looking. Yeah.
Most of
It's
the ones
cool.
I see look chrome, or whatever
yeah.
that color
Yeah.
is. You know what I'm saying? Steel.
Brushed aluminum.
Brushed aluminum. That's the correct term. Anyway. But yeah, so we're going to talk a little bit about that. But first, guys, for the new year, what are we starting it out with? What are we drinking over there, SLO Ride?
I've got a long speech on mine. If you guys want to go first.
Okay.
All right. Hound Dog, be my guest. You be first.
I'm drinking Wheat Penny, one of my favorites.
Wheat Penny.
yeah.
Never heard of it. Cool.
It's
Nice,
it's a wheated bourbon, of course, as you can tell. And also, the cool thing about it is, if I can figure out how to turn it up and see it, it has an actual wheat penny glued to the
To the top of it. Nice.
top of
So
it.
you get money back.
Yeah, they're actually paying you to buy their liquor.
Yeah.
A whole penny.
But it's
and I'm
the wheat penny came out in 1958, and no, it ended in 1958 rather. I think
Okay.
that's right. But this one here, this even got the mash bill written on the bottle, so I love that part when they do that.
Oh, yeah.
It is
Full disclosure.
51% corn, 45% wheat, and 4% malted barley, and it's a product of Cleveland Whiskey Company in Cleveland, Ohio.
Oh, all right.
Nice.
Good deal.
Oh,
What's
it's,
the price point?
Price point's about 50 bucks, I think it is.
$50. Okay.
Yeah, and it is 94 proof.
4 proof. Nice.
Yep.
Well, I'm doing an old standby, Elijah Craig.
Nice.
All right.
Oh, yeah.
And
Both
it's a
those good
94 proofer as well, and it's just a good go-to. It's not real pricey, but it's kind of middle of the road. But I think it's it's got a little bite to it, and I just always like it. It's nothing new for me. You know, I've done Elijah Craig a couple times.
Yeah.
Oh, yeah.
I just like it. So, well, good deal.
All right.
Well,
so
tell you,
let's-
Started.
I found this baby over here in Tennessee, over in Johnson City, looking around, and is it Nulu?
I would say that's how it's pronounced. New Lou. That's what it looks like.
It's actually in. I'm sure Hound Dog knows this. MGP Midwest Grain Products.
yeah.
Out in Indiana, they make whiskey for everybody. You know, we could get that for our own. Have them make it, distill it for us, age it even, whatever, and bottle it, whatever we want to do. But several years ago, they said they're going to start coming out with their own products. This is one of their products, actually, that they distilled, barreled, and aged themselves. And it's straight out of Indiana. And it describes it on the back and stuff. It's pretty cool. It is 110 proof, aged 4 to 6 years mix of whiskey. And it's non-chilled, filtered, meaning it's going to have still a fatty, richy flavor to it.
Yeah.
And it's finished in a toasted barrel.
Oh, okay.
Okay.
You guys want to take a stab at what this bottle cost? And it's totally exclusive to Tennessee. It's the only place you get it is Tennessee.
I'm going to guess.
You know I'm a retired cop, so money's no issue.
Yeah, I know. 27 bucks.
$18.
Oh man, even better.
$16 for the fifth.
That's a
4 to
buck
6
whiskey.
year, yeah, 4 to 6 year age, finished toasted barrel, 110 proof, and it drinks like a 90 proof. It's just really, really good. But I bought it because the price point said for $16, what other thing that it tells us it's going to do,
Yeah.
and it hit home, man. I'd probably pay $40 for this bottle.
Wow.
Buck smiling above. Yeah.
Don't
Oh,
tell
yeah.
MPG
16
that.
bucks.
But yeah, it's
I'd get that.
typical bourbon. It's got the typical bourbon flavor,
that
finish, and
all?
everything. So that's 3 bottles for $1. What are you talking about?
Hell
Yeah,
yeah.
no doubt.
That is awesome. That is awesome.
Yeah, Midwest Grain Production product started in 1941,
Okay.
so it's been around a while.
Yeah.
Nice, nice.
All right. So, where do you want to start at, Rodinator?
I think we start out on that crazy ass dude who
Well, that
did
narrows
New
it down.
Orleans.
Yeah, don't talk about Doby. He's not on podcast.
Yeah, I want to talk about my man Shamu Dinjabar, the guy who did the New Orleans attack.
Okay.
So, what the craziest thing to me is, one, he's a veteran.
Yes.
He's been over to Afghanistan, right?
Yep.
He spent time at Camp Liberty, which used to be Bragg, right?
Yeah.
Fort Bragg.
Yep.
And he apparently, all of his people who know him said and of course, isn't this how it always is? They never would have guessed anything.
That's the way it always is.
Never radicalized. Didn't see an indication of any of this, which I have no reason not to believe him. I'm just saying it's always the same thing. I can understand parents and friends of friends, in society saying those things. But military guys would call it straight, you would think, and they would think you would hear something. But they say this guy, and I don't know, they could be covering from, I don't know, could they be covering for themselves? I guess, I don't know. But for this guy to do, okay, so he had a truck that he rented through. Yeah, he rented through this app. Do you remember the name of the app?
I do not, but it's not like a regular
blowmeup.com.
Yeah.
Runmeover.com.
Crazymotherfucker.com or something. Yeah, something like that. But he rented through an app, and it's the same app that the gentleman in Las Vegas rented his through. Something there, I don't know if that has anything.
If I'm not mistaken, that particular app is it's like a VRBO for vehicles.
Right.
I could rent my truck out to people.
Really?
Yeah,
Well,
to
that's
go do
interesting.
shit with.
Oh, okay. So you own the truck. Reggie owns the truck, but you can put it on this site.
Yep.
And then this guy can rent it.
Yep.
From you personally.
Yes.
That's a pretty good idea, man.
Until
Why
they
didn't we
blow it
come
up.
up with that?
Until they blow it up, then you're screwed.
That's why either leave the title or the payment book in the dash.
Yeah, but the thing about it too is, if you go that route, and I'm renting it from one of you guys, it keeps it kind of low key. Only that I rented it from you, as opposed to a business like a Hertz or a or rent a car, whatever you.
And that's scary. And it comes back to Hound Dog when this crap happens.
Exactly.
You're first guy on the list.
Yeah,
Hey,
exactly.
That's that Bourbon and Badges guy. I knew those bastards were dirty. Yeah. So anyway, he rents this truck, and apparently he creates a couple of IEDs,
Yep.
right?
Puts them in coolers.
Yep. And they traced his steps back, and they say he's been to New Orleans a bunch of times, kind of scoping it out. Before he drove the truck and did the actual deed with the truck, he planted 2 of the several IEDs that were in his truck.
Yeah.
At places, and they had remote kind of controlled detonation technology on them, so he could set them off. Apparently, he didn't have time to. He didn't do it.
I don't know if he didn't have time to. Or he didn't have the smart, so to speak, to.
Or if you saw the final resting position of his dead ass, his truck crashed into something. The front end was crashed in, and he got out of the truck, and I don't know if you know this, but he started shooting people and shooting at cops, and the police officers returned fire. They're the ones that killed him. But maybe he crashed, and all of a sudden he felt like he had to get out and start shooting, and he forgot to detonate them. I don't know, but either way, thank God, right?
Yeah,
because they did find 2 IEDs that they had to disarm, and they did find 2 others in the truck. And the thing that I found kind of disturbing, guys, and I'm saying a lot of stuff here, so I'm going to ask for your input in a minute, but he had an ISIS flag hanging on the back of the truck. While he was going, and as soon as he crashed, the investigators immediately, whether it was the police or the FBI or whoever, took the flag and covered it on purpose. I don't understand. Like, why do you hide?
I don't think. In my opinion, they wasn't hiding it. They weren't giving it publicity.
Do you think that was it? Do you think?
I don't know.
That?
That's what I would do.
If he had a Trump flag,
nobody
would they
needs
have
to
covered
see
it up?
this.
If he had a Trump flag, would they have covered it up?
No, they'd shot him before he got there.
I think that, I don't know. Sometimes I just think they just don't want us to think that there's a problem with Islamic terrorism in the country because of the administration that's currently in power who left the border open, right? Even though it's not an immigrant thing. But I'm just
people
saying,
said that they couldn't believe we could do that. Don't believe in profiling.
Yeah, well, exactly. And profiling, folks, is legal. Let me repeat that. It's legal. The FBI has profilers. When someone kidnaps somebody, they write up a profile, a white male, 30 years old, single, he's a loser, whatever, or has a high-tech job. They profile and they try to give a description or a characteristics of the person they believe.
And usually they're spot on.
Crime.
Yeah.
And they're usually spot on is right. That's called profiling. And I think everybody thinks it's against the law now because racial profiling is a whole different thing. That's when you profile somebody based on the color of their skin or the race of their race, which we don't do. We don't say, okay, this is a white guy, so he's obviously prone to do this, or this is a black guy and he's obviously prone to do that. No, it's a whole list of characteristics that go into a profile of a person who may be committing a certain crime. Right, guys?
Right. Yeah. Exactly.
So, but anyway, apparently this guy too was fine. I don't know what fine means, but mentally fine until the beginning of this last summer when he started to get radicalized. Now, he did belong to a mosque, right?
Yeah.
And the mosque has come out with a statement They say they denounce, which a lot of times this doesn't happen, guys. They kind of glaze over it. But the whoever the head dude is at the mosques, I'm not up on this, said we denounce the crime, the carnage. Our prayers are to the victims. He killed a Muslim kid. I don't know if you saw one of the victims. One of the kids was an Islamic kid. And I mean, it just makes no damn sense. But they denounced it. So I guess several questions, guys. How does an American soldier fought for this country, trained in this country, born in this country, how does he become radicalized, and why? Why would he become radicalized in this day?
And you have no idea
in
what
America?
their influences, you know?
Yeah, that's the point. You don't know. I mean, what flipped in this guy's mind to where he's like, oh, I think today I'll be anti-American.
I think I have an answer to why people get this way.
Okay.
And I think it's because their lives become so much of a pile of dog shit. They're looking for something to grasp onto or somebody else to relate to. For instance, if you're having a real bad life, divorced, you're bad health, you're broke or whatever, you're pretty much you're on your own. Like this, you know. But you
started to tear up. I thought you were talking about me for a second.
Yeah, but you might gravitate towards somebody who is like-minded or likewise like you, or if somebody comes to you and goes, "Hey, man, you're not doing too well, huh? Come on to a meeting. I got some guys who want to talk to you. We're all in the same kind of boat. We feel the same way. Life sucks. This sucks. The
We
government
love
sucks.
you, brother. We love you. Come on,
Right,
with
and
me.
then they pull you in. How did Jim Jones? Is it Jim Jones, the guy with the Kool-Aid? How did he get thousands of people to drink that poison Kool-Aid? They knew what, you know. How did he get them to follow him to an island, and then all kill themselves? I mean,
knowingly.
Right.
And their kids.
What goes on in somebody's mind to get drawn into something like that? And in this case, this guy get in a truck and drive willy-nilly down the road and run people over until he's forcefully stopped, then get out and try to kill people. And he's all set for it, guys. He knows what he's going to do. The truck, the guns, the IEDs, right?
Yeah, this wasn't an overnight.
This wasn't. He
or
was
a spur of
just
the moment thing.
He wasn't driving traffic. Go, this traffic sucks. Start running people over.
Yeah.
Like, he didn't just get pissed on the spot. He went to do this.
He planned it
And
out.
he did, right. And he did drive up on the sidewalk because the street was blocked. But the other thing we'll talk about in a minute is New Orleans didn't have those barriers up. They have special barriers they raise up to keep this from happening. And they were being repaired for the Super Bowl, not for this bowl,
Right.
for the Super Bowl. So they were, and they're getting sued now, guys. I don't know if you heard this already. The whole city's getting sued for this shit.
Yeah.
And by God, did you guys see, and I've asked a lot of questions, so we'll talk. Did you see the police chief?
Oh,
of New
gosh,
Orleans?
she is an embarrassment.
Did
She's
you
DEI.
see her?
She is
No,
a
I didn't.
DEI
Evidently, I
hire.
missed it.
Oh, my God. She looks like an old 80-year-old librarian with a police suit on.
Yeah.
It was the most embarrassing.
So she's hot.
It's the most embarrassing.
Maybe on the mountain.
I gotta pull up a picture. It was the most embarrassing, and she says, and I just don't know why. I mean, she's talking like she's just a grandmother who threw a police outfit on and is trying to describe what happened. It's
Now,
unbelievable.
this is a police force, not the sheriff's office, right?
Yeah,
This is
police
the New
department.
Orleans police chief.
So it's
department.
appointed,
Yeah.
not
no, she,
voted on.
She's hired.
She's hired.
Yeah,
by
that's what I
the
was trying to
town, by the city.
Yeah.
Yeah. That's what I
She's
was trying to
promoted up through the ranks, and yeah. But and apparently she was let go from another police position and got hired by New Orleans and is their chief. Terrible, guys.
Yeah,
And not just me.
California, I
You look
think.
at the news, they're like, man, she just does not instill confidence, is how they politely put it on TV.
You know, I want to say that she was I think she was police chief or something again in administration in San Francisco, if I'm not mistaken.
That would be appropriate. San
And
Francisco.
then she
That sounds
left there
right.
and went to through DEI transfers to
Oh my God,
New Orleans.
it's crazy.
Yeah,
But
she-
anyway, so go ahead.
And you know, on the same note, we're going to talk about this in a few minutes about the Las Vegas Tesla explosion. That sheriff out there is squared away.
Oh
That
yeah.
dude. I mean, he made that.
I did watch that. That
Yeah,
press
he
release.
is squared away, man.
And he had all the answers.
Yeah, there she is.
Really?
Police chief.
That is the chief of police of New Orleans.
Yeah, she should
I'm
be
sorry,
somewhere baking
folks.
cookies.
I'm sorry, folks. Yeah, she should have an apron on, greasing up a grease pan to make some chocolate chip
Is that
cookies for my
profiling?
ass. I don't know. That's me just being a dick.
just
but
being
I'm
honest.
just-
Hey, and I will say, some of our listeners had commented before we're a bunch of old white racist cops, and that's profiling, and that type of profiling is wrong.
Exactly right.
Yep.
You
We're
said
not
the white
old.
word. You described us with color. That's racist. You can't do that. Yeah, I might identify as black. I don't know.
And as
You
old guys,
really should ask
we're
me.
protected by law. So
I could identify as a young man too. I mean, I don't know. Like you can do whatever you want, right? I mean, is this right?
That's right. Yeah.
That's right. I can do
According
whatever
to-
I want.
Yeah.
According to the left, yeah, the woke.
I think Slow can even identify as Bigfoot.
yeah.
Yeah, he's on Shootout Mountain. He's got one of the characteristics.
Yeah.
Anyway,
Oh,
so
that's for another show. But I've got a bunch of Bigfoot stuff for that. Another show. Go ahead.
okay. So anyway, so guys, security was lacking. This guy was armed to the gills. He got a truck, and that truck, by the way, the truck. Did you hear? Came across back and forth across the border of Mexico, and it's only a 2-year-old truck, and it's transferred title 20 times.
You talking about the
The suspect's
New
truck
Orleans
he was in.
Really?
Is that
I
not a
didn't
red
know that.
flag to somebody, DMV or somebody?
Well, that's what they call that, a cartel truck. People are calling it. I don't know. 20. It changed hands 20
Yeah, it
times.
makes
in 2
sense. So
years.
if Rodinator's transporting illegal aliens or drugs, and the truck comes back to you, that's not a red flag to the person that's trying to find somebody that's violating the law.
Wow.
Yeah, so
Yeah, it
just
makes
a lot of
sense.
things
All
here. But you would think a city like New Orleans would have those barriers up, and if they didn't have the barriers and they were out getting repaired, that's fine. You pull a damn vehicle up on the sidewalks. You have to block that street off so people can walk safely without this type of thing happening, because it's not the first time it's happened. Happened in New York a few years ago. We did a podcast on the damn thing. It was along one of the rivers. A guy ran 10 people down with a truck. Well, this stuff happens, and when you got them all boxed together on Bourbon Street, one of the most famous streets in the United States, right?
And Bourbon Street is a small street.
Yeah,
And,
and it's
Podunk, Gastonia, we did that, Hound Dog. Did we not? Every place entrance was blocked off with at least 2 squad cars.
Yeah.
With officers posted there.
Yeah, and if you have one of those barriers on the sidewalks when they're operational, then if you take those barriers out, you need to put something in its place while they're getting fixed, because you have them there for a reason. So when you remove some protection, when you remove your old vest, you better have your new vest on when you go on duty, right? It just makes sense. So when you're repairing these barriers and they're not there, put a truck, put some kind of vehicle there. You know those what are those highway barriers? Those big ones we used to use to stop the drug through traffic. What are they called? Something freeway barrier, some kind of highway
Jersey barriers.
Jersey barriers. That's right, good one. Yeah, the Jersey barriers. No one's getting through that. That's all you would have needed, and this would not have happened.
Yep. Very true.
At least the car part, he could have got out and started shooting. But if you had, police
didn't kill
personnel
any-
posted there.
Yeah, he didn't kill anybody with a gun, though, from what I understand. All his victims were run over.
Oh wow!
Right? And the cops blazed them.
Good.
So
Good
they're
for
getting
them.
sued. They're getting sued. They got a Super Bowl coming up, right? Mm-hmm. I mean, I don't understand how and I'm getting to a broader point here. How does this keep happening in these different places? And I'm telling you what. Do you see the FBI agent who said in the beginning, she comes on and said, this is not being treated as a terrorist attack? And then 10 minutes later, everybody else in there says it is.
Yeah.
And then she comes back and says, it is being a terrorist attack.
Yeah.
She's this a young female with a nose ring up there. And what a lot of people are saying, and what I'm saying is, we have a hiring problem at the FBI and in some of these departments. We hire people based on gender, race, or some other characteristic other than merit. Meritocracy is what I mean when I say you promote people up based upon their performance,
Right.
Oh, I
based
agree,
upon
yeah.
their skill, based upon their knowledge.
The most
not
qualified
because-
person for that position.
Right. A meritocracy is what it's called. You don't just check boxes. Okay, this is a blank female with this and that. Okay, she fits all the characteristics of who we want to put on TV. No. I don't care if it's an old white dude with bumps on his face. If he's the best guy to keep the city
He just
safe,
made fun of Granny out there
right.
for the very same thing.
I know. But Granny's got nothing
She
to
could
back
be
it
a
up.
killer. You don't know. She could be a killer.
I watched her interview, dude.
I bet she makes killer cookies.
Yeah, killer cookies. That's right. Yeah. Yeah. But anyway, so I think we have a hiring problem, and I think that's one of the reasons why I really want to get Trump's appointments in line, especially Cash in charge of the FBI.
I think we'll start seeing a lot more transparency.
Yeah.
Yeah. Just clean it up. But it's a shame. All those people shouldn't have been killed. This should never happen. And I guess this radicalization of people, especially of our own people, soldiers, it's getting dangerous, guys. And I guess it can happen to anybody if you put a soft-minded person in front of the right radical. It can happen.
This guy's not the first one. Timothy McVeigh. He was a radical military.
He was a radical
guy.
He wasn't an Islamic radical.
No.
He was one of those white nationalists who went bananas. Right there, you just heard me say it. He was one of those. But I'm telling you, the problem we have today is not white nationalists like Timothy McVeigh.
And think about it. All
Most
these
of these
goons
guys
pick soft targets. They always
course.
pick soft targets.
Of course.
Yeah.
Of course.
No
It's easy.
resistance.
Yeah, absolutely.
Yeah.
And you get a bigger body count. Yeah, absolutely. So I just, man, that was just crazy when I heard that. And ever see some of the videos of that, man? I mean, he could have killed a lot more people.
I sent you guys earlier today. This was a headline. It's got an actual video attached to it. If you watch if you've watched that video, he got these meta glasses, what they call it, glasses with cameras in it, and you could film, without holding the camera up. You just look wherever and film whatever.
You gotta love
looking
technology.
Wow.
Yeah, and he had those on when he got out of that truck. Unfortunately, he didn't hit record, or they say he didn't hit record during his whole rampage with the truck.
Oh, really?
Yeah.
They say he didn't hit record.
They say he didn't hit record.
Yeah.
But why even put that on if you're not going to record it for all the proper purposes or whatever, what the hell ever?
Exactly.
Rodinator, you got a cat in your background.
Yeah, I saw him.
Yeah.
I saw it. Jesus.
I tell you,
I got a cat waiting in the house. Folks.
YouTube or the powers that be need some type of delay. You can't do, we do a live stream. You still have a delay for someone to catch that to stop that from being produced and put out there.
Everybody likes cats. That's no big deal.
Hey, talk to cat.
We don't care if he's got a cat back there. I got a dog running around here.
Yeah.
He's all right through me, John.
Yeah. But my issue is this. It's just sad because, these people are in charge of got pretty important jobs and they're just not doing them. They're failing. They're not doing them right. And the FBI is a mess. And I just hope, so far it sounds like they're being pretty transparent, but I don't know. But wait till we talk about the Las Vegas guy because there's a lot going on there. But.
Well, and two, as a slick sleeve for Hound Dog Sergeant over here, sometimes we get put in charge of a certain event. But my plan of action is typed up, written up, and everything, and submitted to my superiors who then goes over it and they shoot holes all in it and present it back to you, just like the barriers. Okay, Sergeant Cobbard, there are no barriers. What are you doing to prevent this or to take care of this area of security? That was failed on so many levels.
Yeah.
Exactly right. And when you submit a plan, and I'm not going to say superiors because they're not superiors, so they're supervisors. I don't like the word superior. No one's. I don't like that. But anyway,
You never seen one of my reports.
Okay. Touche. When you submit a plan of action, which we've all done many, and it goes up the chain, you would think it goes through so many people who should have great knowledge, right? Because if you're a sergeant, you're sending it to your lieutenant, who's sending it to the deputy chief probably, and then to the chief, or however that works, right? Whatever the chain is. Mm-hmm. So you should have a whole set of really experienced eyes on it, right? People who know the city, the streets, where the barriers are, where they're not, the ones that are getting repaired, the ones that aren't. Maybe we should do something here. But apparently that didn't get happen. And they just winged it. And all they did was block the streets with the regular wood things you put up that you carry in the back of a truck. You set them up, the wood barriers. A couple places had cop cars blocking streets. But the sidewalks were wide open. And I guess they just looked at it and went, oh, no one's going to drive up on the sidewalk. It's illegal. No. Yeah. That's exactly, you know what I mean? I guess, I don't know. I don't know how you missed that. And it's just a shame because a lot of people died and a lot of young people died. A quarterback from Ivy League school who was pretty famous. Mm-hmm. A Muslim kid died. I mean, a couple of college, just a lot of carnage for no reason at all. Yeah. And apparently this guy got radicalized within a span of 6 months and did this.
They say he pledged his allegiance or alliance to ISIS or whatever online. They got the video of that.
Yeah. Yeah, he had that ISIS flag on the truck when it was running. There's it flying in the back. How do you not see that running?
Yeah.
How do you not see that?
How does that not pop up on some down by this computer somewhere
Exactly.
in the United States?
I would
federal
say the
government?
average
Right.
Joe
Well,
does
the
not know
cameras,
what that
the
flag
cameras.
looks like.
The cameras in New Orleans are like New York. There's cameras everywhere. That's why we have the video of him driving down the streets.
Yeah.
The flag flying out the back. Someone would say, damn, there's a damn ISIS flag on the back of that truck. I would probably keep an eye on it. I don't know, maybe stop it, kind of just talk with the guy. Say, hey, I see you got an ISIS flag. What's going on, brother? And kind of look at the truck because you probably see everything he's got right there in the front seat, right?
Oh, yeah, definitely.
So, anyway.
Yeah, and a lot of people don't realize you don't need probable cause to check or stop somebody, just reasonable suspicion. And that flag at a major
reasonable
event
enough.
is reasonable suspicion.
And not that, I can walk up to anybody I damn well want to and start talking to him. I don't even need suspicion. I could just say, how you doing today, sir?
Yeah.
Exactly
Walk
right.
right up to his truck. Hey, how you doing? I just take a look in the truck,
Exactly right.
Nothing to that. Anyway, but so how about we, you guys good with that? Want to segue over to Las Vegas?
Yeah, let's go
Yeah,
to
man,
Las
we're
Vegas.
31 minutes into the podcast.
Okay. So do you want me to lead this one, guys?
Yeah, because I don't have a whole lot on this one myself.
Okay. So this guy, the thing that's the irony here is, to me, is he drove a Tesla to a Trump building
Yep.
and blew the fucker up. Okay. So if you're wanting to get attention from the news media, who is not very pro-Trump or pro-Elon Musk, you would do that exact thing.
Exactly.
Because every liberal site will say, look,
It's a
somebody's
Tesla.
sending a message. Yeah.
Oh, yeah.
They hated Leon and they hate Trump and blah, blah. But literally what this guy did, now this guy was a different story than our first guy. He wasn't there for a body count. He wasn't radicalized. He wasn't there to kill anybody but himself.
Yeah.
He was a Green Beret,
To send a message.
Special Forces,
Again, Fort Liberty. Or
Fort Liberty,
Fort Bragg.
which used to be Fort Bragg. Not sure if he was there the same time this guy was, but
Is that the place had problem with all the water?
What's
I
that?
don't know.
I
Yeah.
think it had.
No,
they have
that's Paris Island.
Paris Island. All right, go ahead. Let's try to make a segue there.
But he was there at Fort Bragg, which now is Fort Liberty, with this guy. I don't know, but again, two different stories. This guy in Las Vegas was not a radicalized Muslim. He was a white male, Special Forces, Green Beret, and according to his manifesto, did you guys see any of that stuff?
I didn't see the manifesto. No.
Hey, side note: the FBI, through true transparency, said that they did not find any links between the two, where they served anywhere, any place together whatsoever, any training or anything.
Right, and I believe that because they're two different people. I think the Green Beret guy would have shot and killed this guy if he knew what he was doing. Like I think he was still an American and he loves the country. I think he was just fed up, and he was at that point we spoke about earlier, guys, when everything was going wrong in his life, and the PTSD from all he's done, because he has a manifesto, right? And he sent that thing out beforehand. And there's a call called Sean Ryan. You guys ever heard of that guy? He
Yeah,
does a-
excellent podcast.
I think it's number 125 or something like that. He talks about the manifesto, and it's getting all over the place because it's getting out in front of the FBI and what they're saying. He says in there, the country's being run by feckless leadership, blah, 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 blah. What better way for me to get attention than to, because in the back of the truck, he had explosives, but he also had fireworks.
Right.
You know this, right?
Yeah.
So when it blew up, that's why there was all these secondary explosions and rockets. And I'm not sure if he used a Tesla truck just because Elon Musk makes them and it's connected to Trump and it was in front of Trump Tower, or because of the construction, because the metal walls of the Tesla kept the explosion blowing straight up.
Yep.
Because none of the windows at Trump Tower broke. Nothing blew out this
And
way.
yeah,
It
those
all
are extremely
blew straight up.
heavy vehicles too.
Yeah, it all blew straight up. And then fireworks went off, right? And the only person who died was himself, and he actually shot himself in the head before the explosion.
Yeah.
So he wasn't looking for a body count. He was looking to send a message and get his word out, which he successfully did because it was on a pretty major podcast. Sean Ryan's podcast is pretty popular. And
Yeah.
Never heard of
it's
it.
all over the
Yeah,
place.
let's give them a plug sometime tonight because, man, if you want to
just
see
did.
what the world is like, watch and listen to his podcast. And he has guests on there that are above and beyond top notch. And he tell it like it is. They don't hold nothing back.
Yeah. So this guy was recently divorced, split up from his wife. According to his thing, he's carrying a lot of guilt around with things he's done. He even mentioned, guys, a operation that was done in another country that might have a body count as high as like 200 people that may have been illegally done.
Oh, really?
So he's because when is it Sean Ryan? Am I saying that right, Hound Dog?
I don't
Is that
know.
the podcast?
I've never heard this guy. Never
Oh,
heard
man.
Slow.
Yeah,
Sean Ryan? Is that right?
I think you're right. I'll look it up. I don't think you're 100% right.
He said, starting his podcast, he said, talking to his guest, who was a military guy, I'm a little nervous talking about this one because of what we're going to talk about. The sensitivity to some of the things this guy said is surely not supposed to be released. And within his notes, he said, I'm sure the government's going to get me eventually. Not sure if they're going to let me go into Mexico or not. They might try to get me before I can get there. I'm not sure. So I'm doing this.
So the guy said that the guy was on the podcast.
The Green Beret. No. The manifesto of the guy who blew himself up
Oh, okay.
and shot
All
himself in the head
I got
is being read and interpreted by these two guys.
Okay, I got
on the podcast. So he's reading it out and they're showing excerpts on the screen. They also showed excerpts of it. Hound Dog, the LV, the Las Vegas Police Department, had a really good spokesman on there, night and day from New Orleans, night and day. This guy was squared away, and he just gave facts, and he even showed. He had a big screen. He said, and then part of the manifesto said this, and he read the manifesto while it was up on the screen, and you could read it yourself. So there was there's no confusion of what the guy was saying, and it was really eye-opening how this guy served 18, 20 years in the military, special forces, how many missions he ran for this country, how he must have loved this country and still does, but he just PTSD, the stress, and he just said to hell with it. I'm tired of this. I'm gonna send a message. My life is shit, and I'm not wanting to hurt anybody, but I need to get this out to the biggest audience I can. And I think, and I'm not trying to give somebody props who commit suicide and did this kind of thing and could have hurt people, but he was kind of on the money to drive a Tesla up to Trump Tower in Vegas and blow it up out front.
And I think during the news thing that he was not anti-Trump.
No, he was not anti-Trump. He was like pro-Trump. I think he was, when he said we're being led by feckless leaders, he used the word feckless. I think he meant over the last 4 years, I think he was actually anti the Biden type administration and the wokeness stuff. Obviously, he was a Green Beret. I really don't think he's wearing ladies' underwear at night and walking around, thinking he's a transgender. Like he's a dude, and
Oh yeah.
and so I'm pretty sure he was just tired with how, because it's not just, and forget about Biden, the military people who were put in place by Biden, like Mike the Milley guy, General Milley. Some of these guys, the ones who implemented DEI into the military, the ones who implemented transgender surgeries for military people, the ones who said transgender this can serve right next to this and be in the same thing, like girls' locker rooms, that type of thing.
Right. Yeah.
All that's going on, and it's taking away from creating battle-ready soldiers, savages, who we need to go out there and fight.
You're right.
Fight against other savages,
right?
Because that's what we're fighting, savages,
Yeah.
and we need people who are willing to face that stuff because most people won't do it. So that's why we have the military. They're fighters, this war fighters. That's why they have cops. People don't want to deal with that gang of kids on the street selling dope with the guns. They call us with our guns to go to them and confront the guys. We're that line.
Yeah, isn't it funny? People anti-gun when they get scared, call somebody with a gun to come save the day.
Every time. Even the guy in New Orleans, he's shooting people with a gun. Guess what stopped him? Another gun.
A good guy.
Never
with a
forget
gun.
that. A good guy with a gun. Exactly right. So when you're trying to disarm the police and defund all this, yeah, right. Didn't work out too well for you, did it? Yeah. But so this guy was a whole different bird situation than New Orleans. He was just a different mindset, but he just lost it up here, man. He has kids, and I got a little feeling for him because I can appreciate he didn't kill anybody, he didn't hurt anybody else but himself,
right?
And what is it? These veterans suicide? What, one every 48 hours? Is that right?
No, 22 a day.
22 a day.
Yeah.
Oh wow, I was way off.
Yep, 22 a day.
That's correct. Guys, in our line we have some PTSD going on with people too. But these dudes, especially the special forces, because they don't go and get the cat out of the tree like, as comparing it to like police. some of us get a cat out of a tree and other of us are on SWAT. Some of, I mean, there's different aspects of the job. When you're in special forces, the Green Berets, the Army Rangers, you are doing high-speed shit on the regular, So, the guy's got a lot of bodies in his head, probably.
Ghosts.
Bad memories.
Ghosts.
Yeah. And it's ghosts, like you call them, Slow. And
you see them and hear them.
Yeah, and he said in his manifesto, he said, I just can't stand what I've done, where I've been and what I've done. If you could have a Rolodex of that man's head and see what he's talking about, I'm sure, we all go, holy shit.
Just touch base that for when you have like war, not ISIS, these idiots have this, religious protocol that they want to do, but let's take World War II. Most of the Germans were regular Joes like us. They didn't want to go to war. They said to go to war for their country.
Right.
They didn't want to be there. They had families, wives, kids, just like the Americans. And then you got to kill that guy, or he's going to kill you, and neither one wants to be there.
Right.
It's a lot of pressure, man.
But then again, World
to
War
do the
II,
right thing.
Germany got taken over by a radical guy itself. Hitler was down.
Yeah, cool mustache.
He was radical. No, he didn't. Wasn't a damn thing about him cool.
Yeah, he was a Myron ass motherfucker. I mean, that dude was like. He was the one who got his milk money taken in school, dude. That's why he turned out to be
you're exactly right. If you watch these documentaries on him, you're exactly right. That's the case.
Yeah. He was the artist that wanted to be that never was.
Oh, yeah.
But he had to be charismatic. He got a lot of people to follow him.
Oh, yeah.
Well, he said all the right things. He said all the right things. And Germany, it's one of the, I think since we're on that subject, we'll kind of segueing over, but since we're on that subject, I will compare it to what happened here. When people go through 4 years of what people just went through here in this country, with the way the country's been run, they were ready for a big time change.
Yeah.
Even if it was Donald Trump, the most this and that, and he's this and he's that, it didn't matter. People were so fed up with how the country's been run for the last 4 years. They wanted Trump back because they knew their life was better when he was president, no matter what the bad things they say about him. And I think with Hitler, Germany was going through a rough spot, and Hitler said he was going to change all these different things. And boy, did he. But after he did, and he got all that power, then guess what? He turned against everybody in the country who wasn't with him.
Right.
And then it was that's what I always say, it's almost like I always tell people, like these liberal side people, if you let the people you want to lead this country, and they do away with the Constitution and all the different protections of the Constitution because you want this, you want that, you want to be able to do this, to have sex with kids. When all that's implemented and they have power and the elections now don't mean anything because they're all corrupt, they don't need you anymore. They don't need the liberal voter anymore.
You don't realize what a segue you just made, my friend.
Was it
you don't talk about the death row stuff.
Oh, yeah, absolutely.
Oh, yeah.
But what I'm saying is, I always tell the liberal voter, you will be sitting, if your people take over, you'll be sitting right next to me in that train car if we were back in World War II. Because they don't need you no more. You put them in, you vote your way into communism, and you have to shoot your way out.
That's right.
That's it.
Very true.
But, okay, we can segue over if you want.
Side note, one drink of this, man, look how rosy my cheeks are just from one drink of the 110 proof.
Yeah. You look like you're embarrassed or something. Or
I'm proud of you, Steve.
Or windburn or something.
I look like what my son-in-law called. He called me Santa.
You got the white beard. Yeah.
The new Jevo got's red, and that's what, hey, it's perfect. It's the sled. Yeah, he don't pull punches when it comes to me.
Oh, God. All right. Any more comments on the Green Beret, Las Vegas? Anything, you guys?
Are we through with that topic?
I just hate that he...
Sorry, Reggie.
I like that. That's a new button.
I just hate that he got to that point. He seemed, from what you described tonight, Rod, he seemed like he was a straight-up American guy who fought for his country.
And there had to be somebody that knew the road, the path he was taking.
Yeah.
That didn't step out and say, hey, Hound Dog, I love you, brother. Let's sit down and talk.
There had to be.
But,
it's sad that it came down to that.
Yeah. And his kids, too, and stuff like that.
He's got, like 6 kids or something like that?
Yeah, well, with his wife, and then I think he moved on. Was dating somebody, maybe had a child with her. I think he's got a couple kids. Like, I don't know, dude. See, and I'm not, don't badmouth the dead or badmouth a man who lost his mind. But that's the one thing I can't do. I can't take myself out of this equation because there's too many people here that count on me, and there's too many people that I got to look out for.
Yeah.
Plus, it's against my religion. I would never do that. So, guys, if I ever die, look at the wife. She took me out.
Yeah.
For the fortune.
I can tell from the pre-podcast meeting, I heard him vomit. I can tell.
Oh yeah. If I get taken out, it's her. Just that's it.
This be showed some jury somewhere.
Well,
Exactly right. Look for signs.
that has been recorded for eternity now on
Hey,
the
that's
podcast.
That's exactly right.
45
This
minutes,
day,
and 47 seconds into it.
January 5th. Yeah. Yeah. And we've been watching Dexter too, and he's the guy that kills a bunch of people different ways. And she's going, "Wow, that's interesting. Oh, that's interesting." I'm like,
Yeah, I don't think I've been watching that.
Yeah, she
exactly
go,
right.
oh. Is she ever taking notes? A little
Yeah, there's
notepad.
six more seasons of that shit, so she's gonna have a lot of ammo. Anyway, so back to one of my favorite.
Yeah, Rodinator's a big fella. I'm gonna need a 48-inch saw, not the 24-inch.
Exactly right. I'm gonna need the longer needle to get through that head of his. Yeah. So I wanted to talk about this. The Biden commutations, the people he has commuted sentences and or death sentences.
Yep.
You guys know much about?
Yeah, I
Yeah,
tapped
lunch.
into a little bit.
Not a whole heck of a lot. Just know
The
that
major-
he's an idiot.
And each president does it. So folks, don't get it wrong. Each president does it. I get that.
But his is historical.
Yeah, very, because he's done more than anybody. When you really look at the commutations, along with the outright, dropping sentences, and the 9/11 guys. I mean,
Yeah.
it's incredible. Like what he's done.
mastermind.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So Joe Biden commuted a bunch of death sentences, dozens of convicted killers, just 2 days before Christmas. That's how long ago it was, guys, because we haven't been around for a while. And 37 out of the 40 federal prisoners, not state death row, federal, have been commuted. Now, see, my issue is this. Why not 40 out of 40? If you're against the death sentence, why are you not commuting all 40?
Yeah.
What are like some of these mass shootings or racist bias shootings or something?
But
They didn't.
is that it? Is that his hot button? Is that what he thinks
and I
deserves
tell you,
death?
yeah, one thing he said, he didn't want Trump to come in, somebody that believes in the death penalty, come in killing people because he doesn't believe in death penalties. Why he made these actions?
Yeah, but like
Right.
Rod just said.
Yeah, no,
why
I
not
agree. That supports
40 out of
Rod's
30?
theory.
Yeah.
And this is my problem. How long have I been yelling, no one's above the law, no one's above the law, all this bullshit. The jury has spoken about Trump, right?
Yeah.
All the shit.
Yeah.
Well,
Oh,
the
yeah.
jury spoke on all these yahoos too. And they said death. A jury of their peers said their crimes were so horrible, they said death. And Joe Biden says, no, I don't believe in the death penalty. Only for these three.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Not for these 37. Because
And these three are not my son.
Right, exactly
Yeah.
right. And he commuted the death sentence of 37 out of 40. And I don't know, the ones he didn't are the Boston Marathon bomber. Remember that kid with his
yeah.
brother who blew up?
Yeah.
Him.
Brother died, right? And then the kid
Brother-
they
brother
found in
took
the
a sh-
boat.
Yeah.
Yeah, brother got, hit with the cordless hole puncher. He got blasted. And he survived, got part of his face
That is
blown
funny.
off. Yeah, the cordless hole puncher. I got that from a X video, so I can't claim it. The Tree of Life synagogue shooter, he is still on death row. And the man who murdered the 9 people at the Emmanuel AME Church in Charleston, remember the
Yeah.
white kid
Yep.
who
Yes.
murdered the black parishioners? Mm-hmm. He's still alive. So for those 3 people, Biden says the death penalty is okay. But for the 37 others, one of which murdered a police officer and a man who kidnapped and murdered a 12-year-old girl, another one who shot the mother and kidnapped a girl and raped her and killed her. I mean, those people, I'm not for the death penalty.
Yeah.
I'm only for the 3 politically popular ones. And why do I say politically? The Boston Marathon bomber is terrorist,
Yep.
right?
Yep.
The kid who shot the black parishioners, that's racist, of course. That's his thing as well.
Mm-hmm.
And then the Life of Synagogue shooter too. That was
And we're all agree these 3 guys need to be on death row.
They do.
yes. Oh,
Hell, the whole
no.
40. The whole 40 does.
Oh, I agree. Yes. Hey, and get this.
Yeah.
The 37 that he he gave them life sentences cost us $370,000 a year to support them in prison
Yeah.
as taxpayers.
Yeah.
$370,000 a year.
Yeah, and that's the reason why the death penalty doesn't deter crime, is because usually guys go 15, 20 years before they're put to death, and that's even a slim chance because they'll get off and they'll get life, or someone will come in and say they don't believe in it. But his quote was, "I've dedicated my career to reducing violent crime and ensuring fair and effective justice system." Oh, okay.
Oh,
so
really?
You want to reduce crime and a fair and effective justice system. Well, they had a jury of their peers sentence them to death, and you overrode what 12 people said. How does that work? And you didn't do it for all 40. That's my problem. You have a problem with your thinking. If you're either against it and you're gonna clear them all, or you're not against it, because they all murdered innocent people, right? They all murdered, whether it's several, 1, 2, 3, raped, mob, murder, whatever, and they were all sentenced to death, and you pick the ones you choose not to die, and that's almost like a dictator. That's almost like a king.
Yep.
Anyway,
So
go ahead.
that first little thing you read, he said they dedicated his life to what? Say it again one more time.
I've dedicated my career to reducing violent crime and ensuring a fair and effective justice system. Fair and effective.
Okay, what about his son?
That's a good question, Reggie. What about his son?
I mean,
Hunter?
he got found guilty and he got pardoned, presidential
Well,
pardon.
it went further. He could have committed a crime, murder during this time that he's pardoned him from all crimes.
Yep.
Yeah.
He could have committed a murder in 2015.
No.
Well, he come forth right now and say, "Hey, you know what? I killed this nasty whore.
I killed this prostitute the other day. Like,
Oh
you
yeah,
know,
and guess what? You can't touch
2015.
me. I'm touching you.
10 year.
He is
never
a
been
piece.
never been done before. 10-year pardon.
Yeah, he is a piece of shit.
Yep. He could have killed somebody. He could have killed
You
somebody.
talking about daddy or son or both?
Both.
Both. He could have killed somebody 5 days ago, and
Yeah.
he wouldn't have been charged.
Yeah,
Gosh,
you're right.
man.
You're right.
Right?
Yep.
So, and you could say what you want. And I know all presidents do it, but none of them have done that. None of them.
It's a lot of power for even the president. It's a lot of power. Why do you think that was instituted to give the commander in chief that power? Where'd that come from? Anybody? I don't know.
It had to be.
It's been around for a long, long time. I didn't
Had
look
to
it
be
up.
passed
So
by Congress. It had
yeah,
to be
Milton
passed by Congress.
Absolutely.
So
One of the death sentence people I was talking about, Thomas Sanders, who was convicted in 2014 of kidnapping and murdering 12-year-old Lexi Roberts. Sanders kidnapped Roberts after he shot the mother in the head, held Roberts captive for several days before he shot her 4 times, cut her throat, and hid her body in the woods. Now,
12 years old.
He doesn't deserve death,
12 years old.
according to Biden. But
Stole her whole life from her.
and her mother. Killed her
No
mother,
prom,
right
no
from her.
first date, no first kiss, no new car, no nothing.
Darrell Lawrence. Lawrence murdered a 33-year-old Ohio police officer, Brian Hurst, during a bank robbery in Columbus. Shot him dead. Others include a man murdered 2 people in a carjacking, a man who murdered a postal worker, and multiple men who murdered fellow prisoners. Murder on murder inside. That one I could. I don't really give a shit. Felon on felon crime. But it's let's see. The latest move comes after Biden announced earlier this month that he was commuting sentences for around 1,500 people.
1,500.
His commutations come as he has taken a number of other last-minute policy decisions which will undermine Trump administration. Okay, that's. He's also racing this. Oh, this is just something that's connected to this article. He's also racing. Do you see this? He's racing to sell off the border wall pieces that are left on the
I think
border.
they have put a stop to that, have they not?
Trump sued him. Got to stop. The Texas stopped them from doing that. Yeah, you're right. Just how he's trying to just hamstring the next administration rather than support it.
Well, at the time of the recording of this podcast, 15 days, that piece of shit will be out of the White House.
Oh yeah.
can't get here soon enough.
Oh, can you imagine? It's going to be great. And just touch base. They did the House had their election, and Johnson remained Speaker, so that's in line.
Yeah.
And on the 6th, I believe tomorrow is when they ratify the presidency and the election, and then the 20th he is inaugurated.
And the good thing about that tomorrow is, guess who gets to tell everybody it's been ratified?
Would that be Kamala knee pads Harris?
Oh, it'd be so good to see that.
Oh, that's terrible. She's gonna have to say, "Yep, he's the next president of the United States, Donald J. Trump." That'd be great if he walked up there too, to get a certificate like at school.
Yeah.
Hey, appreciate it.
Them bitch
Nice to
slappers.
see you. Oh, Jesus. You notice, have you ever heard from? You don't hear from. Oh, can I talk about one other thing? We only have.
Hey,
5
it's our
minutes.
podcast. Talk about anything you want to.
That's
I don't know if
fucking
they'll
right.
listen, but you can talk about it.
Okay. Have you ever heard me mention the name George Soros?
Oh yeah.
Did you guys hear anything about this?
Not
I have not.
Hillary
lately,
Clinton and George
no.
Soros? Biden gave them medals,
For
like the Citizen Medal or something. Give me 1 second here.
Oh, I didn't know he gave it to them. He gave it to a bunch of down people.
well, I tell you,
Biden-
up here in the mountains, I'm out of the loop on a lot of things. Go ahead. I'm sorry.
Biden awards George Soros and Hillary Clinton the Medal of Freedom. George Soros, I've been yelling about for years because George Soros is a guy from Hungary, Hungarian dude, I think, who actually during the war helped Hitler and the Reich collect Jews and imprison Jews and capture Jews.
Yeah.
He was working with the Hitler regime. All he
How old is
does
this cat?
He's a vegetable at 90-something years old. 90.
Good.
He, look up his name. You should Wikipedia this. He is a destroyer of countries. He goes in, he's a billionaire. He goes in and he likes to deflate currency, from what I understand, drive stuff down, makes the country go into some kind of turmoil, and then buys it back. Like, that's how he makes his money and how he stirs up countries. Well, what he's doing to our country, which I've been saying for years, is he supports these DAs, guys, the ones who are not prosecuting criminals in our country and who are letting other people off, the no bail DAs, like Macron out in California, who just lost his election because he sucks. Bragg in New York, who did Trump. Letitia James in New York. The Philadelphia DA, who just lost her election because they don't
Georgia.
prosecute criminals. The ones he backs, and what I mean backs is he takes $1 million and gives it to SLO, and then slows the middleman and gives it to Reggie, who's running for office. So it doesn't come directly
Poor Reggie
from
wouldn't get that
Soros.
money.
That's right. You wouldn't
Reggie
get that up.
who?
I don't need Starlink. I got
Party
a
on the
mansion up here.
mountain. Party on the mountain.
Shootout Mountain Castle. No, that's what he does. So he gives money to these folks, and that's why they have all this money to win elections. And he puts them in place to kill us from the inside. And I've been saying it for years. Now, Biden's not even hiding it anymore. He gave the guy the Medal of Freedom, George Soros, right? And I think he might be doing this for a good old FU because they kicked him
exactly
out.
right. You're
So
exactly right.
maybe he's pulling the blanket away, showing that, yeah, George Soros is real, and I'm giving him a Medal of Freedom because he's helped us fuck over the country. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
It's incredible. George and Hillary Clinton, after what she did in Benghazi, letting those people die and all that, and he's given her a medal.
Probably because
of
she's
freedom.
hot.
Gee, what has she done in the last few years except get on a podcast every
What
once
has
in
she,
a while and
what has
complain
she
about
ever
Trump?
done? What has she ever done?
Killed a lot of people.
Yeah. Make sure a lot of people got killed in Benghazi.
Yeah.
All right, guys,
A lot
we're
of people
58 minutes in this podcast. We won't continue on, or are you ready to wrap this?
Oh, I'm good. I just
fast
ranted.
over?
I got a high heart rate now. That pisses me the hell off, man.
Yeah.
Unbelievable.
Me too.
Unbelievable.
I know
I'd
we're
love
all
to see
being
Trump take those medals back.
Well,
I'd love to see Trump take the medals back.
What
we're all
will-
being selfish because we're podcasting a little earlier tonight because the football game later tonight. But I'm good. What you guys want to do?
I've gotten out what I got to talk about. If you guys have something more you want to talk about, I'm down.
Yeah, I don't have anything else. to
Hey,
be honest.
one thing I would like to bring up is I had a couple of notes here for another podcast, but one thing is the Social Security Freedom Fairness Act. If you're a first responder, EMT, cop, fireman, teacher, includes them as well. You don't know about this. I'm sure they ain't listening to us if they don't know about this, but it's where it is like Hound Dog and I retired 2015. I'm on Social Security because at 62.
Because you're old as fuck.
Yeah. Look at this.
Do the buzzer. Cancel me.
I've got this. How about this? Well, shit. The buzzer's the 2 pages over. I have to hook it for it.
I got
But
you.
what that basically is the 3 of us has worked, and we have a state pension, so we didn't pay into Social Security.
Right.
When I retired, I did pay in 10 plus years in Social Security of other jobs prior to being a police officer and after being a police officer. But they penalized me because of my state pension. Well, this Fairness Act means that they will no longer penalize me for that, and I will draw what I should be drawing all along anyway.
Good.
And a plus to that is they're going to go back to retroact that till 2024. So I should get, or a lot of us should get a one lump check for that 2024, 2025, and then get more money this year from Social Security.
Good.
And
I'm
Trump
happy for
is saying, icing on the cake, he said he is going to eradicate a law that there will no longer be state or federal tax on Social Security.
Right.
I'm in the money, baby. You may not see
hear
me
ya.
ever again.
Every little bit helps. Hell yeah.
Yeah.
I'm reading here that specifically it would repeal the windfall elimination provision, WEP, windfall
Yeah, that's what I
elimination
said.
provision, and and the government pension offset. So those two things apparently reduce the amount we get.
Yeah,
And
significantly.
that's going to be taken away now. And so
Significantly.
the payments
Yeah.
will go up. Right.
Yes.
And now the bitch about it is, according to this article here, it's going to put a strain on Social Security trust funds, which face looming insolvency crisis. You know why it's looming insolvency crisis? Because they keep raiding the motherfucker. They
Oh,
won't
you're
leave
exactly
it
right.
alone. Yeah, they won't leave it alone. It has nothing to do. It works if they would leave the money alone, but they don't.
Well, I tell you, sadly enough, with the 2.5% inflation increase for Social Security,
Right?
I'm bringing home $401 a month.
Social Security?
Yeah, could you imagine someone trying to live on that?
No. No.
Good.
That's crazy. Yeah, it should be a lot higher than that because I think I did the math for my Social Security payment. And mine's in $1,000 or something for a month.
Again,
Because you didn't pay into. Oh, because you didn't pay. That's right.
Didn't pay into it at all.
For 30 years.
And
we
I'm
didn't
not,
pay
and
into
I'm
it.
not a captain from Charlotte Mac PD.
Who, me? Yeah. Mine's going to be decent. So, guys, I think I'm going to take mine right at 62. I know you can put it off, but who's guaranteed to live to 63? So I'm
And
taking
they're
my
betting
money
out.
right
They're
away.
betting that you will not. And what you need to do is, Rodinator, both of you guys go on to YouTube, and there's a guy that that's what he's done for Social Security for his whole entire life, and he says why there's so many reasons why you should take it at 62. You need to watch it, and you will take it at 62.
I'll tell you this. I know we're running over. My financial planner says to take it at 62. My accountant says wait to 67. And I look at my accountant all the time. I go, dude, how do you know I'm going to live
My
to
financial
67?
planner said buy a lottery ticket.
Exactly.
I'm just saying. You get so many different perspectives, and I understand because guys, just real quick, if you every year you wait to take Social Security, it goes up a percentage. So
Yes.
if you wait till 67 when you have to take it, it'll go up at least 15%. That's a lot of money.
Yeah.
But are you going to live then? And if you're not taking money from 62 to 67, that's 5 years, right?
Yeah, you lost
How
all
long is it
that.
going to take you to make up that money, even though you're making more money at 67 to 72, 73? Before you make up the money you lost by not taking it at 62, you could be dead again.
Yeah, true.
I'm taking
I
the
think
money.
six, I think 6'2" is a
A
thing.
bird.
Wisdom.
My mama said a
wisdom
bird in
of-
the
of
hand.
his
Bird in
old
the hand.
cops. Wisdom of his old cops. We've been
Yeah, that's
there,
why
done that. So yeah, you may want to pay us a little bit of attention.
And that's why the young people don't listen to this damn show. We learned earlier on the freaking podcast, all the 18 to 24s don't want to listen to our old
Yeah, they
asses.
don't
We
listen
have
to us at all.
zero. We got like zero listeners.
Over half
18 to
of our
24.
listeners are 65 plus.
I know.
years old.
I know. And we appreciate all you Social Security and collecting sons of bitches. Keep on listening because we need you, brother. 'Cause
Keep on
there
collecting.
ain't no young whippersnappers listening to us. No.
Yeah.
All right, guys, we're 64 minutes into the podcast. This is the time that you can give me shout outs, whatever you want to do. Data boys.
I just want to say season 7, episode 1, enjoyed it. Glad to be back.
Yeah, it is. Feels good to be back.
I missed it, and I'm ready for a nice ranting 2025. And I know I'm going to have a lot of great things. I'm going to be in a good mood
yes,
because
sir.
my man Trump and Elon and Vivek, the Dose brothers. Oh man, this is going to be
Doby Dawg, get
Getting
better and
shit
get back on the
straightened out.
podcast with us.
yeah.
we got a
Doby
lot of-
Dawg, wipe your nose, take some Advil, do some.
Yeah,
something,
that's
man. You gotta be
selfish
back
man. He
Yeah.
he's a little sick.
Although,
we got-
although my face is real big when you're not on Doby Dawg, it does look. So
Well, I tell you, we got a
sorry.
lot of great things planned for season 7, so stick with us, man. If you got any comments, anything you want to see us talk about or not talk about, or put it in the comments. We answer every comment, and if you got a good idea or bad idea, we'll put it out there, man. We'll talk about it.
Yeah, absolutely.
Yeah,
And
if
also-
you want to know, go ahead.
Also, I was going to run it by right quick. Just be sure to tune in to our good buddy Jerry Millwood's TikTok episode of The Strange and Unexplained Phenomena of South Mountains, North Carolina, which is going to air on January the 6th, tomorrow. The title is They Kill Them for Sport.
Nice. Oh, hey, slow.
Man, we need a podcast about Bigfoot. I got a lot of Bigfoot stuff over up here. Go ahead.
So I want to shout out to the Rooster again in Gastonia, downtown Gastonia Rooster. Nice bar club, a lot of live bands. I've been going there a little bit more lately. Mike's running the show down there. Please support downtown Gastonia if you're anywhere near Mount Holly, Belmont, the Rooster. A lot of nice live shows there, reasonably priced, and it's really great. And I just want to keep downtown Gastonia rocking.
The Rooster.
The Rooster. The Rooster.
All right, good.
Across
If
from
you
the post
like-
office by the Pete Wheel.
If you like what you see, like what you hear, please hit that like button, subscribe. We need the love. We need all the love we can possibly get. Remember, we're on the audio side, and now you can find us on every. You could find us on every platform except for YouTube Music. Now we're on YouTube Music. The audio side is everywhere. We're
blowing up.
Oh yeah, man, we're blowing. We're building everything here on the YouTube side now. So please hit that like button and subscribe. Please drink responsibly. Just keep in mind, we drink on this show, but we're all at home. We're not going anywhere. We got, so we're drinking responsibly.
Yep.
Yeah.
And PTSD. You want to comment on that, Hound Dog?
Yeah, if you feel the need to talk to somebody, hell, if you got our phone numbers, call one of us. We'll talk to you anytime you want. And this 988 is a national, I think that's right, ain't it? 988.
I
think
believe
it is.
so.
Yeah, is the
I'll tell you-
National Suicide Prevention Hotline. Give it a call.
We have each personally talked to a buddy that in need and talked them off the ledge before, man. And
Yep.
and who hasn't been there? It's not a weakness. It's reach out, man. Touch. Make touch with us.
Yep.
All right, guys. Appreciate season 7, episode 1.
Boy, it's going
Too
by.
much bourbon. It's that 94 proof
it's
bourbon.
110 proof talking.
Yes.
And as always,
Guys,
let's
I
drink
enjoyed
about it and drink responsibly.
Good to be back.
Yeah, man.
And this has been a
Miss old Double D.
77 production.
Why you guys steal my thunder? Why you guys steal my thunder?
I just
It's right
have
here.
to,
I got it
man,
written
from
down.
time.
It's written down right there. And you guys
Yeah,
steal
but
it.
I don't have to write it down to remember it. I'm sorry. I just
You
remember
see-
shit.
You see
I
what I'm
do,
dealing with,
unfortunately.
folks? You see what I'm dealing with, folks? Okay.
Guys, enjoyed it.
Yep.
Later.
We're off everything.